Hey guys, just wanted to share with you something that really stood out to me one day this week as I was spending time with the Lord, and I was reading in Mark chapter 8. And in Mark chapter 8, Jesus and his disciples, they had been going through all the villages. They had been healing all the sick, all diseases. They'd been casting out some demons, and they've been preaching the gospel, the good news of the kingdom of God. And they had attracted a lot of these people. A lot of people were following them, and it says that Jesus went up onto a mountaintop, and there was this multitude that was following him. Now, I don't know how many a multitude is, but that's a bunch. It's a multiplied number. We end up finding out later on. It's 4,000 men, not including women and children. But there's this multitude that's following them, and he looks at them in this compassion. The word compassion, this compassion wells up in his spirit. He looks at the people, and compassion just wells up in his spirit. And he says that when that compassion welled up in him, he gathered his disciples to him. He called his disciples to him and said, "Hey, everybody come around," his 12 disciples, and say, "Hey, huddle up, huddle up. I've got this compassion on these people. They've been with us for 3 days now. They've been together with us. They've been walking, and it's time for them to go home. But they haven't eaten anything, and if we send them away, then some of them may faint." And the word compassion really stood out to me. I want to read to you. I looked it up. The word compassion, it actually means to recognize the suffering of other people and then act to alleviate it. How about that? It's to recognize the suffering of other people and then act to alleviate it. The literal meaning actually is to suffer together. I found that kind of interesting. And because it's not the same thing as empathy. See, empathy says, I feel you. I put myself in your shoes, and I can feel what you're feeling. I feel what you think. I feel you. But you don't do anything about it. When we have compassion, there's this sense to alleviate the feeling. I feel what you're feeling, but I want to act. I want to alleviate it. It's also not the same thing as feeling sorry for somebody. Feeling sorry for somebody has this kind of looking down upon somebody feeling. But Jesus has this compassion well up in him. He huddles everybody together. He huddles his disciples, the people closest to him, together. And he says, "Hey, I've got compassion on these people. They've been coming to us, or they've been with us. They're hungry, but it's time for them to go home." And it's interesting, the disciples engage in a conversation with him. Jesus makes a statement, but they answer his statement with a question. They say, "How can somebody satisfy these people with bread here in the wilderness?" And then Jesus says, "Well, what you got?" Right? They engaged Jesus in a conversation, and Jesus said, "What do you have? Give me what you got. I'll take it and I'll bless it." And anyway, they end up taking some bread. They have 7 loaves of bread. They have some fish. They give Jesus these loaves of fish. It says few small fish. It doesn't even tell how many in this passage. But they take these 7 loaves of bread, give what they have to Jesus. He breaks it. He blesses it. They start distributing it. Everybody is filled. There's 4,000 men, not including children and women. And they pick up 7 baskets of leftovers. It says the people were filled, right? And they picked up 7 baskets of leftovers. What I find interesting about this, I want you to think about this from a disciple's standpoint. We are his disciples in this generation. Jesus had compassion well up within him. He calls his disciples to him, and they engage in a conversation. Jesus says, "What do you have? Give me what you got, and I'll bless it." When you feel compassion well up within you as his disciple, if you're a believer in Jesus, then you have his spirit. You have the mind of Christ living within you. So when there's compassion welling up within you, his spirit is drawing you near, saying, "Hey, huddle up. I want to do something right now. I want to do something in, with, and through you right now." Our next step is to engage. Is to engage in a conversation. "Father, what do you want to do right now?" And allow him to give you those next steps. I don't know about you, but there's many times compassion has welled up within me. There's been other feelings of love, or other feelings that well up, and it kind of is like a passing, fleeting thought. Hebrews 5, it talks about, well, I've got it on my phone right here. Hebrews 5, it talks about those that are spiritually mature, they have their senses exercised, their spiritual senses exercise. They recognize to be able to discern. And what I want to encourage you is, as Jesus' disciples today, in this generation, there's a generation that we need to awaken, that Jesus is calling. When you feel compassion welling up within you, He's drawing you near. He's saying, hey, huddle up. I want to do something. I want to do something with you. I want to co-labor. I want to partner with you to make an impact right now. Turn our hearts and our minds' attention to Him. Allow Him to give us our next step. So, hey, I hope today has added value to you. I hope this video has added value to you and encourages you. I hope you have an awesome day, and God bless.